and duly whine or complain, but reason among ourselves and see what can be done to remedy this state of affairs. Life is a conflict. You have to fight your way through it whether you will it or not. That's right. Those of us who are able to fight most stubbornly live, accomplish most, and to them go the laurels, the palms, and triumph of our civilization and world. Islam.
You are now tuned into the cosmos. It will show. It will show. You are now tuned into the cosmos. It will show. It will show.
Gratitude for tuning in.
Islam, giving praises to Allah and honors to his prophet. I like to call the National Grand Sheik for the national address.
So today I want to go into what the topic of this national address is about, and that's civic and civil religion. So we dealt a lot with the spirituality. We're going to deal with it a little bit more, but we want to be balanced. So let's deal with this society aspect of things. So I'm going to give you some words, take some notes, so we can understand what our work is beyond working on our spiritual selves and our higher self and our lower self. But what is our work beyond that? Because Act 6 tell you that we are teaching our people their nationality, and that our people need to proclaim their nationality. First, we proclaim that love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, but then we got to proclaim our nationality and then our free and national name. What is the purpose of this Moorish Science Temple of America, this United Moorish Science Temple of America? Chapter 47, 12. Islam. Can you hear me more?
Islam.
All right, so let's start with simple terms like a nation and a body politic. Society is synonymous with nation, and body politic is synonymous with state. And what Prophet Noble Jew Ali brought for us by bringing us our nationality and bringing us a divine organization, what he effectively created was our nation state. What is a nation state? Not just any nation state, a divine nation state. A nation state is sovereign. Not sovereign as individuals, but sovereign as a collective group of people. Homogeneous, of common descent. Another definition of that is a form of political organization of a homogeneous people. And I'll give you a third definition. I know you can't write all this down, just write what you can. Is an independent state which consists of people from a particular national group. All right, that's the state. So what's the nation? Well, our people love Black's Law Dictionary, so let's look at Black's Law Dictionary definition. It says, a people or an aggregation of men in the form of an organized jural society, inhabiting a distinct portion of the earth, speaking the same language, same custom, same historical continuity, distinguished from other groups. Now I'm gonna read that a little slower. A people, comma, or an aggregation of men, organized in the form of a jural society. All right, so the first definition of nation is a people. All right, Prophet Noble Jew Ali said, more sleep too much. Can't you see the 7 bridges in the sky? I'm paraphrasing. Understand that you are a people, a nation, a people. That's the first criteria of nation, the people. Then we get to the organized jural society. Well, what's a jural society? A synonym for a jural society is an organized political community or a body politic. Prophet Noble Jew Ali established a body politic and a body corporate. A lot of times we get caught up on the body politic, but it's also a body corporate. The body corporate deals more with organization and the financial, political aspect of things. But let's just deal with the Jural Society. A synonym for a Jural Society is a state or an organized political community. So the political community deals with political power, and that deals with social duties. It has to be founded in law and protection of rights. Now, if we go to our book here, our Holy Quran of Moorish Science Temple of America, and when we get to social duties, it tells us key 1, when thou considerest thy wants, when thou beholdest thy imperfection, acknowledge his goodness, O son of humanity, who hath honored thee with humanity, endowed thee with speech, and placed thee in society. For what reason? To receive and confer reciprocal helps and mutual obligations, protections from injury, and thy enjoyments and comforts, and the pleasures of life. All these thou owest to the assistance of others, and couldst not enjoy but in the bands of society. So we see that within our teachings, it teaches us about society. There's a lot more to it, but our social duties, and it deals with what? Mutual rights and obligations and protection. So how can rights be mutual? Because we're working on it together. Islam? We've universal principles that are agreeable to all of us. See, because a lot of times Moorish Americans, we get caught up in chapter 47. Well, I can create my own laws and customs. I can create my own laws and customs. But in order for a state to be a part of a nation, you got to give up a little bit of that sovereignty and work in unison and uniformity with the other states to become a unified nation. Islam?
Islam.
And so that's why Prophet Ali said every nation is seeking peace. Yeah, that means the Moorish American nation too. We're not at peace. We got a lot going on.
Islam.
But he said every nation is seeking peace. But it is only one way that peace may be obtained, and that is through love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice being taught universally in all lands and to all nations. So we got to start with our nation first, because this love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice is universal principles that we adopt, and now we're all on the same page so that we can create laws and customs that are universal to all of us so that we can move as a nation. But when we back in our bands of society, then we go back to our own laws and customs. But when we operating as a nation, we got those universal customs and those universal principles. So read social duties, because that's your duty. It's a holy instruction. So how does civil or civic religion play into all of this? Well, what is civil religion? And before I get into that, I want to read something real quick. And this ain't going to be too long, brothers and sisters. But if it is too long, so what? Like I said, come to this work and come to this toil ready to get up. I was going to say get down. We'll say ready to get up, ready to uplift.
Islam.
Because more sleep too much. That's what the prophet said. More sleep too much. You can lose a little sleep over this. You ain't gonna die because you lost. You didn't lose. You actually gained something within an hour or two of doing something good. Compare what you're doing now to what you've been doing probably the whole week or the whole month, and I guarantee this is gonna rank, if not number one, high up there on the totem pole. Islam?
Islam.
So in 1758, proclamation of the law of nations shifted the political landscape of international law for generations to come. Written by international lawyer and political philosopher Emmerich de Vattel, 1714 to 1765. The Law of Nations was designed to establish on a solid foundation the obligation and rights of nations. And laying out the idea and general principle concerning the Law of Nations, Vattel positioned nations or states are body politics. Societies of men united together for the purpose of promoting their mutual safety and advantage by joint efforts of their combined strength. Islam?
Bam.
So now, this is 1714 or 1758. This is long before her statute. This is where her statute get body politic from. Now, in saying all that, it says realizing nations are based on a system of morality, summation, modern nation states. Now, I'm gonna read a little bit more. In 1762, the treatise on social contract. So look into the Law of Nations and on the social contract of principles of political rights. If we're a body politic, we should know about this. By Genevan political philosopher Jean Jacques Rousseau, 1712 to 1778, was published. Rousseau spoke against tyranny and advocated a form of association known as a social contract. Many of you have heard this phrase, social contract. This is the origin, at least this phraseology. As a means to defend and protect the person and property of each associate, unified under the supreme direction of the general will and as indivisible part of the whole. Comprehending the state was ever found, no state was ever founded without religion for its basis, and in the origin of nations, politics and religion serves hand in hand. Rousseau identified, and this is a quote, those who make a distinction between civil intolerance and theological intolerance deceive themselves. To my mind, these two intolerances are inseparable. Summation, civil religion. So, let's take a look at civil religion and how it plays out in society. Civil religion basically encompasses the religious values of a nation as expressed through public ritual, symbolism, ceremonies on sacred days and sacred places. Example, when we look at the United States, presidential monuments, war memorial, veneration of sacred scriptures. All right. So they tell you that church is separate from state, which it is in a sense. But what they don't tell you, though, is that it's all based on religion. But you have the freedom to exercise your religion through the Constitution with the free exercise clause. However, what they're demonstrating is still based on the morality of their forefathers. How do we know this? Because within the very founding documents, it's expressed. For example, in the Constitution of the United States of America, the Declaration of Independence, the Mayflower Compact, and Lincoln's Gettysburg Address. If you study all of these documents, you're going to find out and you're going to see that the basis of it and is the morality that comes from their ancient forefathers. Another person to look into is Robert Bellah, socialist. He made the phrase civil religion in America popular. Civil religion is at present, it also affects other aspects of life. Maybe you can get them. For example, the Declaration of Independence, Continental Congress Proclamation, so on and so forth. They use phraseology like the laws of nature or nature's God. Also, the creator who endowed humans with unalienable rights. See, the Constitution is founded upon these unalienable rights. but it doesn't tell you how to act on these rights, because in order for you to act on these inalienable rights as a society, you have to be organized. And you have to have a social contract in which the body of people agree on how these inalienable rights will be expressed and will be protected. Which brings us to law. There are several types of law, and there's three major ones that we need to know about. One is positive law, or positum in Latin, which means established, literally causing it to mean laws established by human authority. And then there's the laws of nature, or nature's law, which is derived through inevitable observation of an empirical truth of great generality. It's also a system of morality grounded in reason. Universal principles that govern human conduct considered to be inherent in human nature. But remember, they're unalienable, which means they're endowed by what? The Creator. So nature's law, or the laws of nature, is a part of divine law. Islam?
Islam.
Then there's another part of divine law, which is revealed law. Revealed law are the prescriptions that come from Allah, given through either revelation or laws given by a prophet and inspired by Allah. That's revealed law. All of these are inalienable, but the highest is the revealed law. Between nature's law and revealed law come the positive law, which are basically enacting and adopting laws to govern society of people, which are agreed upon through the social contract. So this is how nations form. But this here, positive law, laws of nature, and revealed law, is all divine law. If you look up divine law and Black's law, it's going to give you all these three categories. Positive law can either be law legislated through nature's law, or it can be legislated through revealed law. Now, this is where the Constitution comes in, because the Constitution protects religious rights with the free exercise clause, meaning that through your religion, you have the right to adopt and enact laws that govern your society that is agreed upon universally amongst your society. And that the state, another state, have no intrusion upon that. Why am I speaking on these things? Because Prophet Noble Ali brought us a divine constitution and bylaw. A divine constitution and bylaw. A jural society, remember, is founded in law. Law. But because this is a divine constitution and bylaws, it gives us the protection of the free exercise clause, so that we can govern ourselves according to our own divine law. We are people. We are a jural society with our own divine law. Only thing we need now is an entity of government, which was established by Prophet Noble Ali when he founded the Moorish Temple of America and created the jural entity, and imbued with the powers of government, so that we can express our principles, religious or otherwise, publicly and politically, or through our civil religion, or through our civic religion. See? Because just like the Constitution of the United States of America was founded upon the morality of the settlers of that time, our Constitution is founded upon the morality and the principles of Islamism. Remember, society is synonymous with nation. state is synonymous with body politic. A body politic needs an entity to express itself in the public arena. Prophet Noble Drew Ali brought us all of that.
Islam.
I said, well, not a religion, but see, this is where the problem comes in, because you have, well, I'm the national side, or I'm the divine side. See, the devil divides, right? The lower self divides, so it got us divided as a nation between the national and the religion, when the religious protections is the law that allows us to govern. But on the national side, they still govern by Moorish American civil religion. But think it's something separate because it's national. What's an example of Moorish American civil religion? Divine constitution and bylaws. A constitution based on the morality of our religion from a prophet. What's another example of civil religion? You got more say, Noble Drew Ali didn't bring, he brought a flag, he brought a flag, he brought a flag. Well, guess what? That flag is a part of civil religion, because you honor it and venerate it ritualistically, and it represents our principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Islam?
Islam.
What do the 5 points represent?
Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice.
And it's over 10,000 years old, and we venerate it and we wave it just like their flag, the Old Glory. It's venerated, and when they pledge allegiance, they pledge allegiance to it, to the republic for which it stands, and one nation under God. Even though that was added later, but it was still added. It's still an expression of civil religion. So when you have a flag is not something that is strictly national. Flags are a part of the civil religion. Even the symbols that go on the flag are usually based on the ancient rights and principles of the forefathers of the people who founded the flag. You look, well, where that 5-pointed star come from on the Moroccan flag. Well, if you look at the decree that they put out on the flag, they say they got it from the seal of Solomon. Who was Solomon? A prophet of Allah. What's another expression of civil religion? How about this book right here, Moorish literature? Moorish literature. Because in this book, we get other laws and principles that's not in our divine constitution and bylaws. That's not in our additional laws. But we got general laws and we got supreme laws. And in those, it tells you many things on how to organize financially, body corporate, the corporate mindset, the body corporate side of things. But it all stems from the morality. It tells you to be a Moorish leader, a good Moorish leader, you got to have certain principles. You got to have a certain character. A certain national character. So in here is all manner of examples of the civil religion, but you may just read and say, hey, you know, I'm on the national side. We dealing with the Constitution and we dealing with flags, and this ain't got nothing to do with religion. You be fooling yourself. Even the European knows that. Marriage obligation certificates, birth records, your nationality card. You got a card, but it says nationality card. But what does it say on that nationality card? Yes, for birthrights, Moorish Americans, but you honoring what? All divine prophets, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, Confucius. You being declared a Muslim under the divine laws of the Holy Quran of Mecca. You can't get no more civil religion than that, but it's a nationality card. Right? Your national headdress. Our meeting. This is a ritual. It's a holy day. We got a business section where we're going to deal with business. So it's all represented through the organization. This organization right here is the body politic and the body corporate. But it's founded, this organization is founded upon a constitution, and it's founded upon chapter 47 and the keys within it. All of this so that we can have unity, so that we can move as one body. Yeah, you have the right to have your own laws and customs in your own areas, but it's still got to be in line with the prophet and in conjunction with the Grand Major Temple. This uniting of the Moorish Science Temple of America, we agree on a social contract. We agree on social duties. We agree on the divine instructions. We agree on our divine constitution and bylaws. We agree on our additional laws. We agree on our Moorish literature, supreme laws, and in general laws. We agree on our authority. And that becomes the central nexus by which we organize ourselves and determine if we moving right. If an issue comes up, then we take it to law. We deal with it in law to make sure we get it right. This is what was left to us. Not just some spooky religion. Religion is law. Whether on the national side or on the divine side, it's all the same. Civil religion or civic religion. But it's not the part of the religion per se that deals with the worship or that deals with the rituals. It does in a sense. It's the side of the religion that deals with the jurisprudence. There's a jurisprudence side to this. And the jurisprudence side of it deals with the law, deals with the Constitution, deals with the jural society, deals with the jural entity, deals with these documents that we're able to produce on our own, and there's provision in their law. The part and parcel side is the provision in their law so that we can operate publicly without being molested from other citizens. See, when you born into their society, you got to get their birth records, you got to get their marriage certificates, you got to get their cards, you got to get all those things. But when you're dealing in this society, you come not to the custodian of records, but to the religious custodian of records. Look it up. Look it up so you can understand what I'm talking about if you don't already. Because on our society, when you in their society, they have a custodian of records. You lose your birth certificate, you go there, you lose your marriage, you got to get a marriage license, this, that, and the other. But guess what? Provision in their law for our free exercise of our demonstration, and we have a title of religious custodian of record, which is respected by each and every department, because they can't legislate our law. They can't tell us what our customs are. They can't touch it because religion is separate from state in that sense. So it's on us to form all of these processes. But they got to conform with the law now, how it's put together so that it can be recognized. It got to conform first with our law. And then secondly, with the law that is the provision for us to be able to demonstrate it. Like if you look on the back of the 101, there's an affidavit. And in her statute, it tells you exactly how to make that affidavit. That's what the prophet made so that he could form the Moorish Science Temple of America and record it. That's the provision in the law that allowed him to create the body politic and the body corpus so we could have our nation state. So there's provision in the law on how to demonstrate what we're doing, but it don't tell us what to do. It's just the form that it comes in so it can be recognized. So that ones can say, oh yeah, we do this, y'all doing that, cool, no problem. The problem is you got people mixing and matching because they don't know our law, they don't know the prophet's law, but they done read up, oh, the European got this, the European got that, we a state, so we should have that same thing, and then they start imitating the European. That's not honoring your forefathers. That's not honoring your prophet. That's how you fall back in slavery. So why you say that, National Grand Sheik Cozmo? Because in chapter 47, it tells you, through sin and disobedience, every nation suffered slavery due to the fact that they honored not the creed and principles of their forefathers. So when you look and you say, oh, they got a birth certificate, we're going to make a birth certificate just like that. Oh, they got marriage licenses and things, we're going to do it just like that. We don't do it just like that. We got our own principles. We got our own forefathers. We got our own customs. You got to know that first so that you can be yourself. And when you be yourself, then that's what's recognized, because they see you coming in your proper form. But when they see you coming like them, trying to be like them, using their terminology, they already know they not messing with it. They don't respect that. You shouldn't respect it. Islam. So brothers and sisters, we have to become familiar with our law, our divine instructions. We have to become familiar with this, because this is what we enforce in the public arena when we have to deal with them. But for the most part, we don't even really have to deal with them. And it's our ability to form our own social contracts amongst ourselves voluntarily that gives the power to our nation and gives the power to our state. But if we need to interact, or you need some records or some documents so that you can not be molested by other citizens, that's where all the rest of that comes in, according to our law, not theirs. And this is what we have to learn. This is why the so-called sovereign citizen and our brothers and sisters out there getting shot up and getting harmed, because they don't know this. But they trying to do something that some of them is crooked as heck. Some of them just trying to deal drugs and use this as a disguise. But the ones who really believe this and like, man, yeah, we got our own nation, why we can't do this? Because they don't know their law. They're not going to the founders of their nation to learning it, but they trying to do something, and then they get caught up in that snare of not honoring their forefathers. So this is the importance of understanding whether it's the national side or the divine side, whether you're dealing with their society or another society. It's all civil, it's all religion. It just depends on which religion are you practicing. When you use their documents, you come in with their stuff. They're not going to honor that. And as a result, many Moors with good intentions get hurt. But that's what we're here for. We're here to make sure our brothers and sisters don't get hurt. Our brothers and sisters don't get molested. But coming into this united demonstration, you got to forget a lot of what you learned already. Because you might have came from different camps where they were saying, no, we do it like this, we do it like that. You got to not necessarily unlearn it, but put it to the side and don't mix it with what you learn in here, so you can learn what the Prophet Noble Jew Ali brought in its essence. If through your reasoning you see some correlations and you see some things, that's fine. But you coming from other camps, or you just come, or maybe you're supersonic intelligent in the so-called white man's world, you need to unlearn or set some stuff to the side, because you don't know this. But you need to know it if you want to be free. Islam? So our brothers and sisters that are going to be coming in from all walks of life, we got to get them to understand and to be reorientated as to what this mission is and how we move, so that they can stop running into so much trouble, so that they can stop running into so much harm. This is what our mission is. This is our purpose. Yeah, we got status correction, which is really just proclaiming your nationality, proclaiming your free and national name, Act 6, in the government in which you live, and then documenting it through the different departments, all that stuff. But we don't stray from the Prophet to do it, and we don't have no problem. We got our marriage obligation certificates, birth records, all these different things that every nation supposed to have, but it stems from our law, and we're not mimicking the European, we're not mimicking no white supremacists or anybody else to try to get this work done, because it is finished. What our Prophet brought is enough. He brought us everything to save ourselves. He brought us everything to save a nation. Now we got to take it and save ourselves. We got to demonstrate this. But we got to know what we demonstrating, and we got to be humble enough, and we got to realize that we weak and we ignorant, and there's still much wisdom to be learned in these days and times for the redemption of men under the principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Islam. I yield the floor, Moorish.
We will not unduly whine or complain, but reason among ourselves and see what can be done to remedy this state of affairs. Life is a conflict. You have to fight your way through it, whether you will it or not.
That's right.
Those of us who are able to fight most stubbornly live, accomplish most, and to them go the laurels, the palms, and triumph of our civilization and world.
Islam.
You are now